Good morning and thank you for joining us. My name is Nani Azman. I am the secretary of the UHPA Board of Directors, and I'm also faculty at UHPA College. So we got to start this off yesterday on my campus, and I was really happy not to have to fly anywhere for a change. We are really happy to be here today to have our campus conversation here at UH Oahu for our Faculty Thought Leadership Series. As Jan said, we're going to try our best to get to all of the campuses this year because we want to have a conversation with our faculty, make sure that the faculty voice is getting heard and that UHPA can represent. So Jan already thanked our faculty reps for us, and I actually do also want to say a special thank you to Adrienne for her several years of service on the UHPA Board of Directors. And we would not be here if for everything she has, were not for everything she has done. So we are very grateful to Adrienne for all she has done. So. Okay, so I will just introduce who we have up here. We've got Sharon Rowe, who is Vice President of the Board from Nani Community College. We have David Duffy, who is currently President of the Board from Manoa, Professor of Botany. Our local voice, or your local voice, I should say, today is Derek Choi from Business, right?
That's right.
And we've got Bob Cooney, who is our treasurer from School of Public Health at Manoa. And hiding in the audience, we have Jan Musto, you see, our executive director. We've got Christine Hanselman, our associate executive director. And back here, we have Peter Kay, our chief technology officer. Do you want to say a few words about?
Well, aloha, and thanks for joining us. It's neat to be at a nice new campus. I'm in a slightly, I'm in one of the newer buildings in Manoa. It's 50 years old, and but there are people from other buildings who come over and go, "Wow, this is great." So this is neat, and I'm slightly jealous. This is a conversation, and it really is. I'll talk a bit about why we want to have this. UHPA is sponsoring this because we're the only campus group, a faculty group that crosses all the academic units of the system. And we think that there's a need to have a larger vision of problems across the system as well as for each unit. Now you probably know that UHPA has two main purposes that I'm sort of oversimplifying. We negotiate the contract each time, trying to get a better deal. And the other thing is we enforce the contract because not all administrators read the contract. And as a matter of fact, it'd be nice to quiz them, have a test. And so we have a great staff that periodically will go and do battle on your behalf if you should need it. And just in passing, I would encourage you, if you get in trouble, talk to UHPA early. If you think you might be in trouble, talk to us early. If you even have a question about something, talk to us. Don't wait until it's fourth quarter and sorry, it's a football thing. That's bad for Manoa to do that. And anyway, come to us early and we can avoid a lot of problems if you think they're arising. So we do these two basic things, but we're realizing that that's not enough. The professorate, our profession is changing. It's got forces from outside that will affect the contract, that will affect our working conditions, and we're not sure anyone else in the system is really either particularly concerned or in a position to do anything about it. We're the ones who teach. We're the ones who know sort of what the bottom line is of what we have to get out and deliver to our students. Most administrators haven't taught in years, or they've avoided the experience entirely. So we need you all to help on some of these things that are happening. We have declining state support, and that means that tuition goes up because there's a gap there. It has to be filled. And unfortunately now, students are taking out loans, ending up with, we're the second lowest state in the union in terms of load when you graduate. But it's still something that in my time was just sort of not an issue. But this may be something that cripples our students. So what are we going to do about it? We have the rise of the for-profits. Phoenix, but then you have a whole group of business people, not teachers, who think that they're going to be able to monetize teaching, particularly through the very large over the internet mock groups, mock classes. And mocks may be good, but they may also be a way to basically destroy a lot of universities and colleges and the contact that happens between students and faculty. Otherwise it'll just be sort of a talking head on a TV. And is that the best thing for education? We have the rise of adjuncts with almost no security. The pay is terrible. Fewer and fewer faculty are in tenure track positions. And if you've got tenure, no problem. Or if you've got a tenure track position, no problem. Well, it is a problem because these people don't get involved in governance. They come in, they teach a class, and they leave because they probably have to go teach another class. They're not available for all the sorts of committees that we all love to hate, but which are essential for a university and for setting standards. So more and more of the load is going to fall on fewer and fewer people across the country. How is this going to work? We have the idea of return on investment, which the president has just unloaded on us yesterday, of the United States, that we should judge a college by how much a student is getting 5 or 10 years after they graduate. And unless this is really carefully done, it means that no college is going to want to teach English or English teachers because they just will not make enough money. And so it's all going to be driven by how much money people can make. And that's probably not a good idea. And then we have the growth of an administrative class. In the old days, administrators rose through the ranks. You went and did a couple of years as a dean or a vice chancellor or something, and then you went back to being a professor. So you knew what was involved, you knew the challenges. There is so much bureaucratic rules now that we've sort of got a priesthood or a priest class almost of people who interpret the rules for us and tell us how to do our jobs. And this seems to be increasing more and more and is largely responsible, not largely, but in good part responsible for the increase in costs at universities. So all these things are happening nationally. They're also happening to greater or lesser extents here in Hawaii. But locally, we have a couple of problems. Besides each campus, we need to pick a new president, but we don't really know what sort of president we need or want. And so that's one of the things that we'd like to talk about. We also seem to have because of the declining tuition, we seem to have a lack of dialogue with the parents and the legislators. So how do we get our message across? And finally, what is the UH structure? I'm at Manoa, and Manoa seems to want to turn itself into either a community college or remedial, and so we're schizophrenic. We teach, we have research, and no one's figured out what we really do. And there's some other campuses like that. And then, even if a campus has figured out what it does, how do they fit together? And these are things that, if you leave administrators to their own devices, we're not really going to like the result. So this dialogue is start of asking you all to help take back the profession. We're the ones who know how to teach, and if we're not involved in these decisions, they'll be made by people that don't know what they're doing, but think they do. And that's dangerous. So thank you.